Look, never...
We're live in the pits of Motor Chaos, your host Dave. I got a line maybe special guest, Drew Sweetman. Alcohol, nostalgia, funny car. Hey Drew, how's it going?
Alright Dave, how you doing?
Pretty good.
I'm okay, but please don't use the word sir.
She's like, you don't have to call me sir.
I'll try not to.
Okay, so Drew, I know you've been driving for a long time. How long you been driving drag racing? When did you start out drag racing?
Well, I first started, my father and mother and uncle had a front engine dragster back in the late 60s. So I was probably 5-6 years old. And that's how it all started. Started as a tire wiper, frame wiper, eventually pulling spark plugs, and that just progressed into, eventually, one day I started driving.
So what'd you first start driving?
We had, it was a double B funny car then. It was a blown big block Chevy on alcohol, and I just turned 16. And I really hadn't thought much about driving, and then my dad came in and said one week, we're going to Cecil County, you're going to make some passes. So that's how it all started.
So now, what year was that?
That was in 1977 that first started, and so we made the first runs at Cecil County Dragway, and then finished up the runs at Maple Grove the following weekend, and got the license under control, and went from there.
Now, after that car, what'd you start driving?
Well, I drove that car for a little while, and then had a crash at Cecil County Dragway, and got off the track and smacked the guardrail a couple times, bent the front end up. Neat stuff.
Right.
And so I stopped driving for a while, and my dad took back over, and we were running on we ran on a circuit down in Suffolk, Virginia, Tom and Sally Evers, and we matched race down there for 2-3 years, with Dad driving. And then eventually we sold that car to buy the car that we're running now. And then we started running on Nick Bonafonte's circuit up here on the East Coast.
Right. So now the car you're currently driving, when did this car come about?
We bought this car in 1981 from a fellow named Tommy Musselman, and he had run it with a Donovan 392 setup. We switched it over to a 426 Hemi, and then we started running that car, I'm going to say, at the end of 81. And we ran that car on Nick Bonafonte's circuit until, I'm going to say, about 1986. And then match racing started dying off, so we just called it quits, parked the car, and that was it for a while. Then I purchased my own funny car, and we ran that on injected alcohol for a while, which was a lot of fun. And we ran that on super comp stuff, bracket raced it, and then eventually I sold that, bought a rear engine dragster, and we bracket raced that also. And we were rebuilding it to start again when we heard the funny car reunion in Englishtown Raceway. So we decided to take the car up there. We were asked to cackle it out on the track, and that's when we started getting the thoughts of, hey, we could do this again. So that's what we did. We rebuilt everything, freshened everything up, and then joined Denny Salzwimmer's Great Lakes Nostalgia Funny Car Circuit, and we've been with Denny for just over 10 years now.
So you've been driving Sweetman Brothers car for about 10 years now?
Yes.
So you and...
Yep,
Go ahead. So I say you and Robert Daly and Sergio have been driving your cars like 10 years now?
Yes. Yeah. some guys longer, but that's about the normal time, I think, for most of us.
Mm.
Yeah, so, the Englishtown deal kind of set the tone, got us back involved, which I'm glad we did because, it's good to be racing again with my brother, father, and I. And, that's awesome.
Yeah, Sergio had nothing but high praise for you.
John's a great guy. We've become really good friends, and glad to call him a good friend.
So now, how many times you think? I know you probably can't count them all. How many times do you think you went against Sergio?
We've run probably several or more times together, and I think he's beaten me almost every time.
How about Robert Daly?
Robert Daly, well, he's run the injected car, and I heard him say he's going to switch, move up to the blown class.
Right,
so
right.
Hopefully we'll get a chance to run each other. That'd be cool.
Yeah, because the natural aspirated, that wouldn't be fair.
Yes.
That wouldn't be fair.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, so when he moves up, then we'll get a chance to run against him.
So now, you and Drew are, you and Sergio are real good friends, but once you get on the starting line, that's a whole different story, right?
Yes, then we're competitors going against each other, but it's always a pleasure racing John. Like I said, we've run quite a bit over the years, and it's always a good time.
So now tell us a little bit about your car, like what's the make of the car and what kind of engine, all that stuff.
Okay. Chassis is an S&W. I believe it's a 1977 year. The body is a Chevy Citation. I'm not sure. I think Harry Glass in Florida might have made that body. And then the engine is it's a Stage 6 Keith Black block. Midget Brothers cylinder heads, which they made back in the early 80s, which is basically a copy of a stock Chrysler head. And it's got a Bryant crankshaft, Venolia rods, Arius pistons. It's got a Keith Black intake manifold, 1471 hot helix blower, and it's generally fuel injected. And it's also, we can run the car as a pedal clutch or a Crowler glide with a Lenco 3-speed. And it's pretty close to how we ran it back in the day.
Now, what kind of tires do you have on the car?
Well, right now we've been running the M&H 34 5 tires, and they've worked really well. We've had very good luck with them, and I think that's what we're going to stick with. Front tires are also M&H, which is the same style we ran back in the day. And good stuff. They hold air better than any tire we've ever tried running. They stay up.
Yeah, we'll see how Sergio does this year with this new combination of the Hoosiers and the Goodyears.
Yeah, I'm hoping it works out good for him. I think what he's trying to do is good, and I think he's going to have a great season. And I hope it doesn't shake and do that crazy stuff for him. So I'm sure it'll be just fine.
So now, how did you meet Dennis Salzwimmer in the Great Lakes Nostalgia Funny Car Circuit?
We heard there were going to be funny cars up at Maple Grove, so we went up there, and that's where we saw the Denny's car, which was the Rubber City Connection, I believe it was called. And we heard rumor he was talking about doing a circuit, possibly. So my father and I, we talked to Denny there, and he told us, as soon as you get the car together and you're ready to run, give me a call. So that's what we did, and that was probably 2006 or more or so when that happened. And he invited us out to a race at Keystone Raceway in PA, and everything went really well. So we just kind of joined in, and we've been part of it ever since. So we also do races not only for the Great Lakes Nostalgia Funny Car Circuit. We do Jagger Neves, Earth Shaking Entertainment. We run a few races for him. Also, both great guys.
So now, do you do car shows too?
Yes, we didn't used to, but we got invited to the Dead Man's Curve show. I think that was Labor Day. And I really didn't think I would enjoy it, but we had a blast, and we were fortunate enough to get invited back for this year, and we're looking forward to it. It's a great time, great show. And we get to cackle the cars twice a day for a couple days. It's good stuff.
Now, in 2017, last year, how many events did you run?
I think we ran 7 events, and we really had a really good year. The car ran well, very consistent. The driver wasn't so consistent, so I'm going to try to fix that for the 2018 season, and hopefully we'll do a little better.
So now, Drew, what drivers were inspirational to you when you started drag racing?
Excuse me. There were a few. Well, first my father. I watched him make many runs. Very, very good driver. And and then as far as funny car guys, of course there was Jungle Jim, Joe Dacona, Dodger Glenn. And I was fortunate enough to get to know Dodger Glenn pretty well and help work on his car, when it was at his house and stuff, before he was killed at Maple Grove in 78. So he was, very inspirational as far as, me driving and, stuff like that. He was a good dude.
Yeah. So,
and, I became very good friends with his family for, years and years after that. It was good stuff.
Now, how many crew members do you have for your funny car?
Let's see. Well, there's 6 of us total. So 4 other than my dad, brother, and myself. And then we have my girlfriend, which I should say fiancée, but she prefers to be called girlfriend, so I'll go with that.
So what's her name?
Tony Facenda.
What's the other crew members' names?
The other crew member is Bob McMillan, and Willie Stahl. And they come with us on a regular basis. Very rarely do they miss a race, and it'd be hard to do it without them. My girlfriend, she can pack the chutes, fuel the car, valve covers off, whatever we need, she can do, and so do the other guys. And it works out really well. Good, it's pretty good.
So she doesn't do the backup girl thing?
Yeah, she does. Yeah, she enjoys it. And it's good. I mean, before I met her, she had never been to a drag strip, and at first she was scared and she didn't want to watch and this and that, and then she got hooked, and then she's been a vital part of the crew ever since.
So how long you two been together now?
We met in 2008. We met on an internet dating site, and in 2008, and turned out to be a really good thing. We're eventually going to get married. We haven't set a date yet, but sooner or later it'll happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, good stuff. How about you and your girl when you get married?
Tanya, when we get married?
We already married.
A lot of silence in there.
We already married, 97.
Is that right? Okay, good. Well, good.
Married 21 years almost.
Go ahead.
Almost 21 years.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah.
Good stuff. Yeah, so, matter of fact, she just bought a motorhome so we could tow the race trailer with, so we could be a little more comfortable. So my book, that's a keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now...
Great cook. Whole 9 yards. Good stuff.
Yeah, you got a good catch then.
Yeah.
So now, Drew, what was it like getting behind the wheel for the first time of a funny car?
Well, I was 16, young and dumb. I thought I had this thing under control. First time, I brought the RPMs up and let the clutch out.